So we are going to run some polywire today. We're going to take the information that we learned from our bricks testing and what our grazing stick told us on available dry matter to set up our correct paddock size. So to do that, we're going to use a pasture map or any other type of GPS satellite mapping to measure our boundary lines, and then we can set up our polywire. So what the tools we are going to use today is a geared reel, a 1/4 mile of a mixed metal polywire, and then temporary step-in post. So we're going to use these basic ring top posts because we're running just cattle. If we were doing a more diverse or multi-species grazing with sheep or goats, we would want a multi-wire type tread-in just for different wire heights. But this will be more than sufficient for just the cattle we're grazing today. So what we'll do is we'll get this hooked up to one boundary on the hook side, and then we'll reel our polywire out and hook it on the next boundary, and we'll come back through and set our post next. As far as post spacing on this temporary fence, it varies on the type of cattle you're running or livestock and the lay of the land. So if it's flat land and tame livestock, then you can keep your post spacings pretty far apart. But all of a sudden, if you're training animals or have something maybe not so docile or hilly ground, you want your post spacings closer together. All right, now that we have our polywire ran and our post in, we're going to talk about hooking up the fence reel to the perimeter fence. So in this situation, we're dealing with barbed wire fence, which is common in most operations and farms. So if you are on a barbed wire type fence, they make various brands, sizes, and styles of portable fence, solar fence chargers that you can just hook to your fence. And then if that was the case, how you would hook your reel to your fence is you would leave your polywire dead, and you would just take this hook and hook it on the barbed wire. Then if you had your portable solar powered fence charger, you would then hook it to a post or a wire somehow, and then just take your positive or hot wire here, and then you would take your ground lead and clip it on the barbed wire, because you have lots of ground posts with all of your T-posts in this fence system. So there's plenty of ground just by clipping it on the ground wire. Now, in many adaptable regenerative farms, you're starting to see a lot of smooth wire high tensile fencing, which is electrified. So if that is the case, you're going to hook your reel up a little bit different. So what you're going to do is take out a little slack to where your polywire can still be tight, but then you're going to take it and wrap it around this hook here about 3 times. And then what that's going to give you is when you hook it to said hot wire, it's then going to generate your polywire in that situation. So at this point, with 2 or 3 wraps around your hook here, your whole polywire is then hot. So you don't have to worry about any type of portable fence chargers at that point. But since this is a barbed wire system, we're just going to go back to the basic way and leave it just hooked up regularly, like so.